Hello everybody and welcome not back to Mass Effect Andromeda for today, but instead to Birthdays, the Beginning. A game that advertises itself with box art made out of plasticine, and it's all about the beginnings of life, in a sense. I've had a little go of this. This is on the PlayStation. There is a version available on the PC, but apparently it got some port issues, as in the port was basically ripped and snapped on PC without changing anything, or at least changing very minimal stuff. So this is the original one. This is back up on the PS4, and yeah, I've been giving it a little go. I've not got very far myself. I've got into the second act. There's 4 acts on the main game, but they take a very, very long time, as you could probably expect with the game all about life and evolution. So I'm going to go into the free mode because I've learned a fair few things about what I can and cannot do. Now let's go for normals. I mean, mini is probably where most people start. You kind of go Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, kind of that, I guess, or maybe it's Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4. But normal is the one where you can get most stuff done without just having huge expansive space, as far as I'm aware. Transfer terrain and organisms from the saved game? No. Transfer capture info, levels, and items? No. This is essentially fresh start. Right, here we are. Welcome to Unknown World, says Navi. Do you know who I am? Have we already met? My memories are... Yes, we have already met, Navi. You've spoken to me a couple of times now. Navi's a little, if you can't tell, the little octagon, is it? Yeah, 8-sided shape. It's an octagon. It's not a traditional 2D octagon, but whatever you call one of those 8-sided shapes there. Just guides and gives you information. And the red guy floating in space is your avatar. You don't have any choice of what it looks like. That's what you get. There's nothing that will prevent you from progressing. I don't have a name myself, but you want, you call me now. Yeah, I know. Taking this left is your avatar. You can give it any name you want. It shall be Avatar. Yes. My job's birth life and words such as this one. I don't really get it, but it seems like the best approach is to let you handle everything. This is exactly the same intro that I got when playing the story mode, I believe. Alright then, you can take it from here. Or close enough anyway. So, here I am. I've got 50 hit points. And as you can see, I have a cube. And it's not really a cube, as in you can't affect all sides of it. You can only affect the top. And it's only half a cube at the moment. So really what it is just kind of a patch of land somewhere. And as you can see, it is huge. So first thing I need to do is make some water. Now I normally put it on the edge. Let me see if I fly over this way. This is actually, if this is a normal one, this is actually bigger than the one I'm on at the moment. Bling! Raise terrain, low terrain, that's the one I wanted. Do I have sizable tools? No, I don't. We have water. Ooh, that is a sea tile. And yeah, basically the whole point of this is just making a sea now. And I shall make it over here, roughly kind of like this shape. And you can see my health is going down as I'm doing so. That's because that's your avatar's energy. And let's fire back over here. Plonk it there, and I'm out of energy, as you can tell by the movement of the avatar here. He's all hungry. Got no energy left. So we need to retreat back up to macro view and just let time progress a little bit. And my hit points zip all the way back up, and that's done. And I have phytoplankton. Whee! So, let's see. Can we see any phytoplankton? I don't know if you can ever actually see phytoplankton because it's plankton. Normally what you get is you get a little purple arrow pop up and go, hey look, this is what you've discovered here. This is what life has come into your world. But I don't think I can see anything. So if I just do... Yeah, so that's undiscovered stuff. And that's my zoomed in. And there's nothing here. So I've got phytoplankton, but there's not really a lot I can do with it. Oops, wrong button. So let's get the tune going again. Make some more sea. And as you can see, 50 hit points is not a lot. So just let that refill. And back in again. Now I'll cut this next bit out because it's not going to be very interesting just you watching me making some shallows, because it really isn't very interesting. It's literally just this. Right, it's literally 75,000 years later, and as you can see, I've got the basics of a shallow sea in place down there. I've started chipping away at the second level, and not only have I got phytoplankton, which are possibly the earliest common ancestor of everything, being single-celled organisms that live in the water, but I have got zooplankton as well, which are the first multicellular life to exist. Because this game is not only a god simulator, I literally am a superhero god, but yeah, it's educational as well. So you get you can go and examine things in your diary. Which I'm not sure if I can go onto here. Yeah, because I've not evolved beyond plankton yet, I haven't got any of these. But as you can see, you've got various kind of mushroomy things. You've got plants, jellyfish, trilobites, those things, other types of fish, and starfish, actual fish. Those things, more plants, land-based plants there, trees. And yeah, bellsprout, more trees, coral, more trilobite things, more fish, amphibians, and spiders and hornets, and more stuff, and butterflies, and more fish, and dimetrodons, and trilobites, and alligators, mice, and all this stuff. And yeah, I'm only 104,000 years in. So normally what you get would be the mushrooms first. So I'm going to speed up time a little bit and just see if what I've done yields any fruit beyond plankton. Because at the moment plankton just sitting here soaking up sunlight and making oxygen. And no. Let's give it another burst. No. So, but we've got a message down the bottom saying that the seeded mutation has emerged in the cube. Now, a seed is something I can slap down on stuff to make it change into something else of the same variety. I I'm not sure if I can slap it on the zooplankton, but they're just kind of sitting pretty at the moment. So 200,000 years old. Well, not 200,000 years old, but 200,000 years after the world, this cube world, stopped being molten lava, we've got plankton. So I'm going to pop back in again and spend more time chipping away at that corner there to see if I can make more life. And oh, this is what we'd love to hear. We've got seed mutation. Seed mutation obtained. So if I pop back out again, and I think it's not in there. It might be in. Is it in game info? Nope. Library is animals. It doesn't give you any of the seeds or anything. Let me just see. Controls macro. Yeah, controls macro. Temperature. These are the various things you've got. Temperature is a thing in this. It's the more sea you have, the hotter your planet gets. The more land you have, the colder it gets. The deeper the sea, the hotter. The higher the land, the colder. Certain animals like certain temperatures, and it's your job to try and get them in that level. Obtain items, resources in rivers. Yeah, so there's various, all kinds of things down here. Anyway, let's pop back out, zip back in, and whee! Let's see, what have we got? Rain clouds, valley. So basically, I can just go, hey, chunk, and make a valley somewhere. I don't really need to make a valley right now. It's -5 tiles, and 9 by 9. I could probably slap it down here. Let's do it. Bram! There we are. We're now not only, if you see over the right there, zip back over here, we have the lowland and the shallows. And over to this bit, if I go down, we have the sea. So the sea starts at 4. So I'm going to chip away at this some more, and means we're going to get the sea about here by the looks of it. I've got the fruit of knowledge, seed of mutation, there we go. Creates mutated forms of organism that use seed of life or seed of evolution, and it will appear in the cube. Mysterious glass jars, can't use them. Free stones, these are basically make the planet cooler, make the planet hotter. Rainbow coating protects the organism from the environment but also renders them sterile. Don't know if you really want that. Vigorous vegetation, sunlight, rain clouds, blah blah blah. So time to chip away some more. So let's say boom boom boom. Let's start there, I think. And this will be a new layer of the shallows. And like so. There. And we're going to want that about there, I think. Not that it matters if you make major mistakes at all, because you could just simply undo them again later. Like that. Unfortunately, there isn't an actual proper undo tool, which is a bit annoying, because it does mean you kind of end up having to rely on memory and going, oh, whoops, I need to press this button in order to remove this particular thing here, and run out of power again. So we zip back and we wait for time to carry on. More phytoplankton turned up. Back in we go. And now I'm going to do some more until I get some sea level, so back then. Right, it's about another 150,000 years later, and I've mostly dug out the sea. You can see in the bottom corner there. And we've got some stromatolites turn up. Wonderful. Let's quickly have a look at them before they go extinct. See, they're all the way over here. Now, as you can see, I've dug some big trenches like that because I realised that my world was getting very, very cold very quickly. And if you know anything about Earth, which is about 60% water, Cubeulon here is about 15% water now, and it was 9 before, so it might have been affecting it. Still, we have captured a photograph of algae, the stromatolite, an algae native to very hot shallows. Utilises photosynthesis to convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. As we all know, oxygen, at least for creatures on Earth, is just a tad required for anything outside of an ocean. So yeah, that's going to start producing oxygen for me, and I'm going to have to produce more of land for them to be on. And I've leveled up for it. And I've got a bigger area I can now work with, and 200 energy instead of 50. So I can, yeah, I'm now going to have to start digging through all of here, aren't I? Because let's see, we've got about there. So, yeah, that's the angling, by the way. I can kind of angle down. You can see it kind of looks a bit like a moon at the moment. And lava. Anyway, I'll be back in a little while, because now we've got some life, I'm going to have to smooth out these rather jagged lumps that I've made in order to actually give it places to go. So let's see, because the stromatolite, unfortunately, if I leave it on, will the stromatolite actually... Yeah, see, unfortunately, it's actually dying at the moment. So I need to quickly make something that will enable this thing to actually live. And that means digging. Lots of digging. Digging lots of holes. And trying to make it as smooth as I can. There we go. So yeah, I'll be back in a little while once I've hopefully stabilised the world enough that stromatolites can actually exist on it, because as it stands at the moment, they're in a bit of trouble. Right, it's a few thousand years later. You can see the map is already changing significantly from where it was before, and the stromatolite population has nicely stabilised and is actually a lot bigger than it used to be, which is very nice. And also over here we've got ourselves a jellyfish. In the shallows we have a Medusa, a primitive jellyfish that float through very hot seas consuming plankton. They can be found near stromatolites. And there's no stromatolites actually in there, but never mind. Because all my stromatolites are over here, you see. Yeah. Let's actually switch my map to being everything. See, it's still quite barren landscape, and I am working on it, but we've got our first animal. And it's only taken 392,000 years to get a simple animal to have actually appear. Because stromatolites are not, technically they're plants rather than animals. So yeah, 392,000 years, and we've got one. Let's just see, because they're trapped over there, so let's just see if their population die off. Yes, it does, unfortunately. Oh, and we got a Colunia, and it died off because it appeared in one of the pools. Let's just see if there's anything else decides to pop up. See, stromatolite population is going well. Zooplankton's going down, unfortunately. Oh no, it's going up again. Fluctuating a little bit. That's fine. So yeah, the purple skulls basically mean that, hey, an animal appeared and then it died because it's gone extinct. But being an extinction event for an animal is not the end of it. It can come back. And I've just run out of energy. So let's give it another spin of the world, and see if we can get something to appear in the main ocean. Because at the moment we've got stromatolites everywhere. A seed of mutation has emerged, nice. But you can see my air temperature is actually going down. It's still declining. It's 38 isn't bad, but it's not as good as it could be because there's still quite a lot of land in relation to the ocean. Nearly out of energy again. So there we go. Alright, I'm going to pop back in, clear up some more ocean, and see if we can't get at least some of those Medusa or Colunias back in being alive, I guess. Right, there we go. Everything's nicely connected up now. So anything that evolves should now be able to get back to the ocean. So we're just going to have a quick whizzle around, wait for a few 100,000 years to zip by, and the temperature's going up just a little bit because there's more ocean. And I think ideally we want the temperature to be somewhere in the 50s, I think, somewhere around there. If I actually go and open this for a minute, we go to library and zip all the way back. Whoops, there we go. Birth temperature between 38 and 53 degrees, so we've got that. That we didn't actually scan, so because it died out before we got the chance to do so. But the Colunia, 43 degrees centigrade to be born. So I need to get the temperature up because the record high temperature we've got at the moment is 56. But the current is 42, which means to get 43 I still need a bit more water. Still, we'll see if we can at least fudge it a little bit. No, it's kind of zipping between 39 and 42. So unfortunately we're not going to get anything new yet. Still getting plenty of stromatolites. The zooplankton's going. That's good. So let's pop back in then. And it shouldn't be too much of a bother. We just, let's see, there's tons of stromatolites over here. Let's just slap down a few extra cubes of water around here. That should do us. Let's just hold it down. So you run out pretty quick. But still, there's plenty of water getting added in there, and the temperature, the little temperature gauge in the corner down there was saying the temperature was going up, which is exactly the direction I want the temperature to be going in. It's saying on the top there, it's aiming for around 41. But air temperature is going up, which is fine. Stromatolites, and they seem to be handling it all right. You know, not brilliantly, but okay. Especially since there's a large number of them actually up here as well, which is interesting. See, all nice algae and stromatolites hanging around here. And there's some stuff for me to pick up, zip around, find them. Good, good, good. And apparently there's one at the top corner. What was that? Small recovery. Seed of mutation. Small recovery. Seed of mutation. Global cooling. Global cooling is something I don't really need right now, but since I've got a small recovery, I might as well use it. There we go. That puts me back up. That means I can zip all the way back over here and carry on with my trench digging. In fact, I might as well use those because in another couple of levels, they're not actually going to be any use to me. So here we go, nice big trenches. And run out again. Well, air temperature's going up. Still kind of 30s, 40s, 42, 40, somewhere between 40 and 42. 39 in the water. 36 all the way down there. That's not good at all. No wonder they're all dying everywhere. Right. More water. Now hopefully this will help alleviate some of the situation that we're having. If the global temperature rises, see, yeah, it's a +1 degree C. If global temperature rises, then the temperature in the oceans will rise, and that means I'll get animals back. And my final recovery leaf. There we go. Because really, you don't have a lot of energy for slapping down these big changes. Yeah, see, it takes a huge chunk out. Up we go. And let's... okay, so we've reached the year 1 billion, which is nice. Let's just quickly speed time up. See if the global temperature actually rises significantly. Whoa, hang on. Well, Cyclone Medusa turned up again. No, Cyclone Medusa actually just died. We have Calunia though. So Cyclone Medusa turned up again and died, was it? So we need to find... There it is, down the bottom there. We have... There we go. The Calunia, a seaweed that lives in very hot shallows alongside stromatolites. It can be found after breeding Cyclone Medusa. There we are, got myself another level up. So, unfortunately, my Cyclone Medusa appears to have all died out. Rather unfortunate. Yeah, so I've got my Cyclone Medusa in, and it looks like I've got Cyclone Medusa in just in time for a Calunia to turn up. But it is promising. Ah, there we are, the Cyclone Medusa, it's back again. I've already found the Cyclone Medusa, so it's back again, but once again, it's living on borrowed time. Because it doesn't seem well suited to survival in this environment, which is a bit of a shame. Especially since I don't actually know where it is actually coming from. Because if I did, I'd potentially be able to properly manage to land around it. There's another one of those. So let's have a look at my animals. That should be the animals map. There we go. So there's my Cyclone Medusa. Right. What can we do about you, Cyclone Medusa? Give you a little bit more room around here, I think. Let's branch off up this way. See, I'm running out of power now, so he's droopy. He's gone all droopy. Bang. Right, let's see if the Cyclone Medusa can handle that. It's not looking good so far. Although the population... oh no, population is stable-ish. So it's only taken 1 billion years on Cubeulon for life to actually get stabilized, by the looks of it. And yeah, we've still got so much more to do. Just speed up time. Let these... oh, hello. We've got something else that's just turned up. Hello, what are you? Is this you down here? It's an awful long way down. No, that's just you. Ah, you're up here. Hello there. We have Elrathia. Most of these are rarity pretty simple because it's relatively easy to get them. Birth temperature 43 degrees C to 53 degrees C, which we have just. Adaptation temperature 33 degrees C to 63 degrees C, which is fine. A Trilobite native to high temperature shallows. It scuttles along the ocean floor and lives among Colunia. So we've got ourselves a Trilobite. It is the beginning of the Cambrian explosion. Only there's not really a lot of exploding going on around here. It's more like the Cambrian slowly waking up from a long nap and having a bit of a stretch. Because, you know, you're still tired and there's not an awful lot really going on for you, so you can't really bother to get really up into doing anything. So the Cambrian long yawn, I think we'll probably call it, something like that. Let's get our energy back up, and yet more things are coming into existence. Now, is that an animal? It's not an animal. That must be, aha, over here in the shallow. It's not even in the shallow. Baragwanthia, 4-star rarity, plant that grows on land. As Colunia and Cyclone Medusa proliferated throughout the sea, this species began to adapt to life on land. Wonderful. So you see there's more stats there for it because it's, you know, it's a land-based organism, so there's more stats required. So yeah, we actually have something on land. So how life got started on Cubeulon. Cubeulon's still being built at the moment by architect god Luchador over here. We have stabilized. We have lots of plankton everywhere by all the green you can see in the seas. We have stromatolites everywhere. We've got Cubeulon seaweed. We've got jellyfish. We've got trilobites. And now we've just got our first plant on land. Admittedly, there's not a hell of a lot here for it to actually consume other than sunlight, and the soil's pretty bare. But eventually, that moisture level is going to go, and these are going to start getting brown, and then green, and we start getting grasses and flowers. So yeah, how life began on Cubeulon with a flying luchador.